There is a space where you are all you need, where you are all you want. All there is here. Welcome to the Source Connection, conversations about who we truly are, the possibilities of creation, and the new earth we are birthing. With your hosts, Tarah Long and Liz B.
Hi, welcome to episode 3. Is it? Yeah, of
Yeah,
the
it's 3.
Source Connection. Wow, what was an idea? Now is a thing. My name is Liz B.
And my name is Tarah.
And I'm in my underwear.
And I love knowing that.
It's like you walk into a meeting and you're like, my name is Liz B. And I don't know, you state something about yourself, right?
Yeah.
And I love this or whatever. And I don't whatever thing. And it was like, well, yeah.
Fun fact about you today, Liz.
Yes. Fun fact about me today is I'm wearing my underwear.
I love it so much. You're comfy.
As we start this today, we invite you to come into this space with us where you are guided and connected to the highest expression of who you truly are. So I invite you to close your eyes for a moment. And if you're running around, find a place to comfortably sit or lay. And just start breathing long and deep. Just really finding yourself into this present moment. Noticing where the bodies are, the mental body, the physical body, emotional body. Noticing the things that are coming up in the mind or spots in the body that are calling for your attention, and just noticing. I'd like you to imagine there's this beautiful ball of golden light above your head. It's bright, it's strong. It's just floating there. It radiates. It invites. And as you keep that awareness, I'll invite you to bring your hearts into prayer pose into the center of your chest. Roll the shoulders back, open the heart, tuck in your chin slightly. We're going to do a little breath work for a calm heart. And this breath work is inhaling in 4 parts, exhaling in 4 parts. So you're going to be doing that in and out through the nose. You're going to find your own rhythm to it. Some of us will do it a little faster. Some of us will do it a little slower. And the point is to find your own beating and your own liking into this, because we are coming into more of who we are. So we're all moving at different speeds and we all have different needs at different times. So I want you to honor that. And we'll be here for about 3 minutes. So the eyes are going to be closed. And let's begin. And just keep on inhaling in 4 counts, 4 parts, exhaling in 4 parts. It's segmented breath. We're retraining the nervous system. And throughout this practice, just continue to imagine the big ball of golden light on top of your head. And as you're exhaling, pump through the navel center. Focus the closed eyes on the point between your brows. Inhale deep. Suspend that breath, just hold. Imagine that ball of golden light just wrapping your whole being, your whole body. Exhale, relax the arms down. Let the breath find itself for a moment. And when you're ready, just open your eyes and come back into the space. Now my eyes want to be closed again, see?
Close them then.
Thank you, Master.
Welcome, grasshopper.
Mm,
That was wonderful. Thank you, Liz.
you're welcome. Yeah.
My body feels calm.
Yeah.
Little dizzy. I got a little dizzy
Mhm.
coming off of a 9-day cleanse. So I was like aware of that. Took some deep breaths in between. It was good. Just listened to the body and
Yeah.
did what it needed.
Beautiful. That's
Yeah.
exactly right.
Hmm?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
We come into this life and we're not given a manual of how to embody our human experience. And thank goodness for the ones who along the way have found tools and helpful hints
Mm.
can help us become more embodied and who we are and
Mm.
navigate the density of the physical body and all of that.
Yeah. Those who can be who have been the way showers, right, of doing that work before us, and just being. Woohoo!
Episode 3, what is popping up?
What's coming? I've had some percolations today. I was asking, who wants to come up today? What wants to come up? This I just got this feeling of, I've had so much expansion lately, so much feeling of expansion and joy and excitement around just everything to come. I mean, yes, of course, being in the moment. It's like a timeless, being in the timeless present and being like, oh yay, I'm so happy for for what's to come, even though I have no idea what that is.
Yeah.
I don't need to know.
Yeah.
None of us do. I think the mind can get real busy on that.
Yeah.
What's next?
What is next?
What is next? I don't know. I have excitements and dreamings, but I've always been on the no plan.
Yeah.
What's your plan? I don't know. My plan is I don't have a plan.
It feels good to give into that, right? Because we come from an upbringing of planning, of projecting, of trying to control things. And when you tap into the infinity of who you are, it's almost liberating to know that you don't need to know.
Mm-mm. You don't need to know even what's coming for the rest of your day or an hour, because you will be guided if you're listening, if you're trusted. That it's that balance, it's that trusting, right? That surrender, that deep surrender to knowing that infinite intelligence is so much more infinite than your mind intelligence. Right? Trusting that unfolding of like, and that undoing, the undoing of myself. I've, for years now, I've been just unraveling what is the undoing? Meaning that all that doingness, all that pressure to do something, or not feeling like valid or worthy without doing. And sometimes it takes different things for different people, right? To surrender to the undoing. And like, can you be, I was just talking to one of my clients the other day, and we had like a whole session on this, like, do you feel worthy? Because we were talking about her business and things she, of course it's wonderful, the creations. And I said, okay, now for a minute, let's take all that away. And like, what if none of that? What if you didn't think about yourself doing any of those things? And that wasn't, it's not your identity anyway, but that wasn't what you were even focused on. Like, just in the being, like, do you still feel worthy of existing?
Yeah. I went into this space on a meditation last week, and it was called the Land of Plenty. And it was such a beautiful space where it was, the physical aspect of it was nature-based and nature-oriented. So nature supplied all the materials for housing and food and entertainment and all of that. And what I noticed about that space was not only the children were playing, but the adults were playing, because the adults didn't have to work. The adults were taken care of by nature. and they were in communion with nature, and they were giggling, and they were frolicking, and they were sunbathing, and it was such a magical space to be in and to experience the joy of being for that time in that space. And I remember when it was done, a lot of grief came up for how we've wandered away from our natural selves and knowingness that we are always taken care of and provided of in communion with nature, because we are nature. And it was such a contrast when I came out of that space, and a lot of grief came up.
Yeah, I can imagine. Just that feeling, that knowing of what we've done, what we've done, mostly because we know not what we do, right? Most of us, many don't know that there's this other even option, right? I got to get a job, I got to work, I got to pay the bills, I got to do the. And to me, to think about spending one's any time at all doing something just to survive or to live or for money, it's heartbreaking. Heartbreaking, because it's like it just crushes you little by little. I mean, I definitely spent some time in my my early 20s doing having jobs. And I know I know it's rare to say, people might think, oh, well, it's just, different things. It doesn't matter what people think, but who cares? That I have had jobs, and it was just, I never liked it. I never enjoyed doing it. I never enjoyed going. And so finally I was like, nope, I'm out. I don't know what's going to happen. It doesn't matter, but it's going to be better than this. So 20 years, I haven't had like a job. Maybe a few sprinkled in there, but yeah.
I remember when I graduated high school and I needed to decide what I wanted to be. And throughout my last year of high school, there was a lot of questioning from the family and relatives. And what are you going to do? It's almost like I had no other option but to go to university. So I, at some point in my life, had a dream that I would be a doctor. And I remember taking one of those aptitude tests where you answer a lot of questions and you do kind of like a psychological evaluation to kind of, guide you.
What are you going to be good at? Yeah.
Yes. Talk about the robotization of intuition and imagination and source connection.
Yeah, these are the boxes you fit into.
Yeah. And I remember doing that, and he was like, oh yeah, you'd be a great doctor. I mean, yeah. And there were other couple of things I don't remember now. And when it came time for me to decide, I remember feeling, well, I'm not smart enough to go to doctor school.
To go to doctor school. I love it.
I can't, no, I mean, I'm not good in science and all this rational stuff. Right. And so this is what, and chemistry. And I'm like, no, I cheated all my way through high school to like make it to, thank God I've never flunked. But I mean, if any of my teachers are listening, which they're not, I cheated all my way through high school. And we have a in certain subjects, folks. In certain subjects, I was good at a lot of them, but some, I feel like it was a combination of like the class structure with a lot of students, the teaching style, and just the way and the information that were not applied to anything. So I know that here, a lot of times when you study chemistry, you're in a lab, we didn't have that. It was just numbers on the board and
Oh,
on
yeah.
paper.
Yeah.
And a lot of equations, and that didn't make any sense to me. Okay, well, I can memorize the board of the elements, and then I do what with that? So it never made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Apply that stuff, right?
What?
Like,
Yeah.
put it on something that I can go, oh wow, okay, I get it. And so I thought that I was incapable of doing that. And so I started a process of elimination. Okay, so I'm not going to go to medical school. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. Well, that doesn't make any money, because it's almost like, okay, you have 6 things to choose from, because then you can have a career and then you can make money. I ended up going to communication school in journalism. And so I did public relations for a year, well, less than a year. And then I went into journalism school and I liked it and left that with a degree, never used it.
Yeah.
Because I never wanted to be tied down to a real job.
Yeah. I know.
So I did this public contest to so in Brazil, there's a lot of this stuff where you apply for governmental jobs, which will give you security.
Okay. Yep.
In a long time life of benefits, right? And I remember that was just the thing that people did, and people still do. And at some point, I was convinced by my mother that I should do that. And so I did. A few years later, I got called in because they would go. So there was a list of people that get approved. And so they start calling people in, and people take the job, and, people don't, or whatever. And my mother could not wrap her head around the fact that I want nothing to do with that job. Mm-hmm. It's a lifetime of benefits, and you're going to get, you're going to get retirement and all of that. And I told her, I said, the thought of me going to work in that building for the rest of my life crushes my soul.
Feel me now. Yeah.
And she could not understand that. She had her best friend talk to me and try to convince me that this was a great opportunity and that I could not do that. And so finally I had a conversation with my dad, and my dad said, are you happy doing what you're doing? I said, yeah. And he said, well, then do what makes you happy. Yeah. And I just remember the weight of that conversation, lifted, after that, it was just like, oh yeah, finally. Like, what is the point of doing something that you feel no inclination to do, because it will give you quote unquote security? Mm-hmm. And now I understand that, to me, the reason I couldn't do it is because I was buying into a lifetime of just unfulfillment, Oh,
absolutely.
And since then, I've always had, even though I'm a graduate journalist, I have an MBA, I've done postgraduate courses in film and TV and all of that. It's so interesting to me that I chose, just odd jobs that I could be free. Yeah. And as a musician, I just really didn't want anything that would tie me down, that I could just do what I needed to do when I wanted to do. And here we are, right?
And here we are. Yeah. I even had, I went to acupuncture school, became an acupuncturist, did that for 15 years. And even that, it was my own business. It was always my own business. I never worked for anybody else. However, I still had to be somewhere at a certain time doing the same thing. Suddenly I knew, I was like, no, I've got to go. I cannot be tied down even in this way. I can't do it. I cannot have a place that I have to be. I can still serve and service. And of course my practice transitioned to other things. But oh my gosh, even that, I'm like, nope, I need 100% freedom of my time. 100%. I mean, I choose to do all kinds of things and have a schedule. And yes. I chose to be here with you today at 4:00. I want to do that, but it's always up to me. And of course I don't have any children, so I know that's different when you have a child and there's an extra
We've been
extra little
talking
being.
we talked about that last time too, and I do have a child, and it comes with its own set of responsibilities, and then again, it's a greater opportunity to tap into the idea that you are always taken care of. And I have a wonderful partner who maybe would say that he feels a little differently than I do because of that weight, but that's up to him to describe. And so I think that we all can tap into that at different rates and different depths.
Yeah.
It's what we come to find out in our own personal relationship.
Yeah. And there are some people who do enjoy a job or going somewhere and being a certain place at a certain time doing the same thing. You know, there are people who thrive on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But as long as it's your choice, you know, I think it's so just to know that you are choosing that in everything that you do, and not, you don't feel like I have to because if I don't, I won't be taken care of. If I don't, the XYZ. I mean, that's everybody's own timing on that, right? It's
and at different rates and different capacities, because we also don't know what each and every one of us comes here to experience. Yeah. And what we need to like really unfold, and the pressure that we need to and the contrast that we need to put ourselves through to come to the realization of who we really are. And so I feel very grateful that up to this time, considering, you know, all of different life possibilities, I've been blessed and graced in every possible way.
So magical.
And I love that you said magical, because I feel like we're talking about what's coming, right? And
coming? Yeah.
I do feel like we are moving from this very mechanical mind kind of societal structure to now allowing for magic, allowing for the things that we cannot explain with the mind or with words, but just this deeper knowing and this deeper expression that sometimes it's so subtle that need no words and needs no explanation. And so I love that you said magical, because that's what I've been tapping in a lot lately.
And just knowing that we will be where we're meant to be when we're meant to be there, doing what we're meant to be doing, following that, just knowing your source, following your own source, right? That magic of just like, and far more amazing things I feel are possible when we're not limiting it with the mind. You know, this idea of like, I gotta get out my vision board, and I'm gonna get my magazines. I'm not putting this down. Like, if this excites you,
it's fun.
That's great. It can be super fun to do.
Yeah.
It can be a dreaming exercise for sure.
Yes.
But there's also traditionally in a lot of those teachings and just the energy around it is very laborious and very like, I got to do all these things. I got to look at it every day, and then I got to visualize it, and then I got to feel the things, and I got to, you know, it's like very much I have to gotta put it up. And I have done the thing where I've put the vision boards on my wall. I mean, I have done it. And then I'll tell you the story. I was living in Hawaii at the time, so several years ago. I had like 2 vision boards up. I had like a thing, and I was like, yeah, I'm looking at my vision boards every day. Within 1 week, and those things were tacked to the wall. Within 1 week,
tacked to the wall. Yeah.
Like, they were on there. They both fell down. Both of my vision boards. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess I don't need these anymore. It's like taking the training wheels off, you know, and trusting that just by having the desire in a spontaneous moment, it's enough. That's enough to just go, oh, yeah, okay. And then I'm letting it go. I'm not like obsessing over it, but I'm just like, that freedom, again, that freedom to just like be spontaneous in each moment of what is coming through and what is being dreamed by the dreamer.
I have pretty recent, actually, as of today, two things that happened that speak of pure magic. Our friends invited us to go on a hike, and as I got there, I said, "Oh man, I should have brought a backpack so I could put the water bottle in, and I, wouldn't have to carry it on my hands." And as we started going up, one of my friends had her baby in a carrier in a backpack, and so something happened. One of the boys wanted something out of the backpack, so as she kneels down, I'm like, "Let me take that backpack for you." I hadn't even thought about my water, but I'm just seeing her with the baby in a backpack, and I say, "Let me just." I didn't even say anything. I just grabbed the backpack, put on my back, and there I am carrying the water, and I just went, "Oh, put the water in the backpack." So I put it in the pocket, and I'm walking, and all of a sudden I realized, "Oh, here's my backpack."
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was just like, wow. And so we're walking, and the kids are going, "What? I want to go that way." And so I started making this fantastic story. I said, "Well, okay, this is going to be the hike of exploration. Then you get to choose. Do we go down to the forest valley, or do we go up to where the secret caves is?" And they go, "Oh, we want to see the secret cave." I kid you not. We walk, and then there's two paths, and I say, "Do you want the path with the flowers, or do you want the mystery path?" And they go, "The path with the flowers." And we walk, and literally within a minute and a half, there's this huge structure made with all the branches and all. There was a cave, and they were like, "This is awesome." And I go, "Yeah, that's not what I was talking about. This is pretty incredible." There
You
was the
just
magic
created a
cave.
cave. Yes,
What?
girl. Yes, it's amazing.
What? And we were just joking. And I said, "Okay, now we're going to continue to walk, and we're going to find a suitcase with $1 billion. So let's choose wisely." And we were joking. And, but I just thought, whoa. And then my friend said, "Did you know the structure was here?" I said, "No, normally we have these things that we call secret caves, but it's the actual tree branches that fall, and there were a
Mhm.
couple in this way that we were going, but that was a complete, somebody totally made that cool
Wow.
thing, and it had a tree, a big trunk in the that you could sit inside, and the kids were just like, "Whoa." And I was just like, "All right."
We're literally making it up. We are making up our world. And I also feel like those happen really quickly, right? Like two things was like boom, boom. And
Immediately.
it's just,
Yeah.
it can be so immediate. And oftentimes we forget, like, oh, I actually had that desire. And then it happens and we forget. We're like, oh, right. Like, what? I've had so many things like that where it takes me some time, like to go, oh my God, this is literally exactly
What I
what
wanted.
I imagine, or better than, or like moving to LA. I'm like, okay, I just want to be in a house by the beach, with a dog. Here I am, like, just, hey, my friend of a friend, my friends are going away. Do you want to live in their amazing condo by the beach and watch their amazing dog? Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Great. Okay. And now they've extended their trip twice already. So
Yeah.
now we're here till November. So I'll be here for a whole year. So, and then just to remind myself, like, oh yeah, I mean, of course, it's just magic. And that's so important to remember right now in these times, because it can feel externally like there's a lot of contraction and
Mm.
restriction, and yes, there may be logistically, for sure, to be sure. However, I know it's possible to come from, because we can't be free until we know we're free. Right? Like,
Mm.
freedom is only from within. Freedom, we're only free when we already feel free, regardless of whatever's going on outside of us. So coming from that space and walking through the world and moving through even this world in California, in Los Angeles right now, you know, there are things that I'm like, oh wow, I just walked into the store and I was invisible without my mask on, or whatever, like, this happens. It's the frequency thing. So just that magic is everywhere all the time. And sure, you may come across situations that aren't like that, and that's for a reason too.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, magic.
Yeah. Tapping into our natural ways. And it's simple. We keep talking about simple. And
Yeah.
as I watch nature and as I watch the cycles and the seasons and the perfection, there's such simplicity. And
yeah.
go ahead. Yeah.
And it knows what to do.
Mm,
Always.
always.
No question.
Mm, yeah. 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 I'm giving in to the magic. In awe of the magic and in pure alliance in partnership with it, knowing that we are magic and we are walking miracles and we get to choose and claim that. Choose we do so.
Yeah. Yeah. It's right back to that choice, isn't it? It's always back to our choices. We're choosing.
And as you were saying, there's the contraction of the outside world. And oftentimes I notice myself tapping into what's happening in society and the guidelines and the structures and all of that. And I'm like, well, I've been doing that. I get to choose what I get to do or what I don't want to do. And just having that inner authority, right? And that compass that's really yours and yours to claim and take and live from. And that's what we're here to activate and to remind everyone listening is that you are your guiding source. You are your own authority, and you have the birthright to claim that, tap into that frequency, and really live from that space. And once you do so, it's a different vibration and it moves according to that and that only.
And it doesn't matter what you've done ever in the past. It doesn't matter who you've ever been. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. It's just right now. Just claiming it right now. You don't have to think about anything prior to this moment.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what your name is. It doesn't matter what you look like, what color your skin is, any of it. It doesn't matter. Everyone has the option or the opportunity.
So I invite you listening to go back into your heart at every moment that you remember to do so and tap into this infinite wisdom that lives in the heart space. And through the heart space, choose, decide, and live your life from.
No matter who it pisses off. Right? That's a lot.
Let me tell you. It will piss some people off. But guess what? That's their own reflection. Yeah.
Yeah. That's their business, not yours.
That's their business, not yours. And there's actually something to be said about also an embodiment of this space where you can tap into this kind of invisibility too, and also reclaim that in certain aspects when you are in, social interactions and all of that too. And just, it's not, here's the thing, this space, it's not to confront others, but the ones who could be ready to be activated may be confronted by this because they get to see in themselves the spaces that they haven't claimed yet. And so that's an opportunity.
Yeah, that can be very triggering for a lot of folks to see other people standing in their just light and being so bright. Again, not to piss people off. It's not the intention. It's just what happens because there's no fighting. It's just being you.
Mm.
And that's comes with other people's disappointments and fears and even people really close to you sometimes. And that doesn't mean that's easy to stand so strongly in your truth, but it is really worth it.
Mm.
I've pissed a lot of people off, I'll just tell you. And not on purpose, not because I was trying to piss people off, but whether it's in just society at large these days or, family members for sure. It has run the gamut. But yeah, I just kind of came out that way. I never like, I'm sorry if you don't like it, but that's just what I'm doing.
Isn't it interesting to think, though, that no matter what you do in your life, there will always be people who are going to get triggered by it because that's the work. And so might as well commit and embody your highest expression because you can't control other people anyways.
No, of course, never.
Right.
And I look around and, even the people that I've upset in any way, close family members, they're still here. They still love me. Not even if they didn't, that would be okay too. But it's all good. I'm just saying. We always think of the worst case scenario, right? I'm going to lose my XYZ. It's like, no, probably not. Might be some turbulence, but again, that's perfect. You've both perfectly created that for something. Something to see.
Yeah. The birds are singing, and I like that.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I love the birdies. I just watched this movie the other night called Pelican Bloom. It was about, because I've always been a little skittish around, but with birds, for whatever reason, I've always not had anything against bird. I'm just like, no, I don't really want to get too close to the bird. It was just kind of a natural feeling.
Yeah.
Then I watched this beautiful film with this bird named Pelican because it was like black and white. And this bird was like a dog. It was this family's pet. And it was, I swear to God, this bird would like sleep with them and like be there while they're eating. It was just literally like this. I had no idea birds, I've heard of it, but I've never seen that. Birds just being so like connected to people in that way. And it was so beautiful. And so it really opened my heart to birds.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, it's really sweet. Yeah.
So with that, we claim back the rebirthing of our wings.
Yeah.
So we can fly high in who we truly are. And we can always have the opportunity to have the big picture of everything. And that we can be aware enough to the details so we can actually enjoy them.
I love it. That's perfect. I'm gonna just read this real quick, maybe to close this out.
Okay.
How's that? Since we were talking about freedom.
Yeah.
I just remembered. Oh, I had done a post on freedom like a month or so ago.
Okay.
Anything else we want to? Does this feel good? Feels complete, right?
Yeah, I feel
Okay.
good. I feel good.
Like I knew that I would now. Ooh, I did some beautiful class today, like singing class, and just letting your voice
Ooh.
out. And I just like came up with this melody, and it was so beautiful. And I was just like, I love to sing, but I usually, I just do it by myself. But it was so wonderful to just like connect to myself through
Mm.
my voice.
Mm.
Just like,
Yeah.
just letting it all out. Oh, it's so beautiful.
Yeah, I love that.
So, okay. Here we go. This is on freedom. The unequivocal knowing that you are free is your freedom. To be truly free, you must first know you have always already been free. The work that leads you to this knowing, not in your mind, but in your core, is the only work you must do to be free. As it is done, more and more external freedom will be reflected back to you as a result of the deepening of this truth within you. It is done in an instant, remembering. It is done over a lifetime, remembering to remember. The work is vast, steady, nonlinear, unknown, winding, exhilarating, true, sometimes confusing, blissful, and so much more. You don't have to be anything but yourself. You don't have to follow any of the rules, unless, of course, you want to. You don't have to answer to anyone or anything but your own source connection. Naturally, this state of freedom within leads to a life of lived and expressed unconditional love and service to others.
My name is Lisby, and I approve this message.
Oh God, thank you so much. I was worried that maybe you wouldn't approve it. Thank you, Liz.
I love it. Did you write that?
I did, yeah, I did.
Yes.
Yeah, juicy good.
I think that this may go into the description of this episode.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. That works. That works.
Thank you for joining us one more time in this beautiful space that we are co-creating.
Thanks, friends. It's lovely to feel you here.
Yeah.
Always.
We'll see you next time.
See you next time. Mwah.